Darling, I can't explain. Where did we lose our way? Girl, it's driving me insane. And I know I just need one more chance to prove my love to you. And if you come back to me, I'll guarantee that I'll never let you go. Can we go back to the days our love was strong? Can you tell me how a perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me how to get things back the way they used to be? Oh God, give me the reason. I'm down on bended knee. You can have my love. You're the girl of my life, and my all you're dreaming of. Yes, you're my desire, babe. I wanna give you so much for the things that you give to me. Just take my love, baby, because you are so dear to me. Oh yeah, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you want, baby. There's nothing I say whatever. I say whatever you want. My heart belongs to you. I say whatever you need. I'll be right here for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Injection, fellas.
Baby, won't you stay for a little while? Oh yeah, baby, for a little while. Forget about yesterday, 'cause I want you so bad. Make love to me like you never had. The sun is going down. Just stay for a little while. Some people work things out, and some just don't know how to change. Let's not wait till the water runs dry. No, babe, we might watch our whole lives pass us by. We might watch our whole lives runs dry. We'll make the biggest mistake of our lives. Don't do it, baby. Lady, I will cry for you tonight. Lady, I will cry for you tonight. Baby, I'm begging, baby. Said I'm begging, baby, I'm begging. Said I'm begging, baby. Oh, baby, I'm begging, baby. Lady, I'll make love to you like you want me to. do you tell me to come and talk to me? My baby, I really wanna meet you. Can I talk to you? And you know, I wanna come and talk to me. I wanna know your name. Oh, I wanna know. Can I talk to you? I really want to. Yeah. Come and talk to me. You know. I wanna know you. Come to the end of the road. Still I can't let go. It's so natural. You belong to me. I belong to you. Although we've come to the end, though we've got to the end of the road, I know I can't let go. No. To you forever, my lady. It's like a dream. I'm holding you close, you're keeping me warm. If this is ecstasy, forever, my lady. Forever, my lady. Say just what I mean. And you know, forever and ever. I pray it's what it seems. How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad. I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever is gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. With no vivid reason here to find. But when I ask you of the thoughts you're keeping, you just say nothing's changed. I'm a man of many wishes. I hope my premonition misses. But what I really feel, my eyes Gloria, my Gloria, Gloria. Things ain't been the same since you've been away. No, Gloria, my Gloria. I don't wanna see another day. Seems like only yesterday I beheld your sweet face in my lonely room. Our memories of your warm embrace. Gloria, my Gloria. Things ain't been the same since you've been away, away, away. Gloria, oh my Gloria, Gloria. I don't wanna see another day, another day without you. Oh, I found the nerve to say I'm gonna make a change in my life, starting here today. Oh, I surrender all my love. I never thought I could. No, giving all my love away. There's only one reason that I would. Baby, it's you. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you say my name, your smile, the way you move me, the way you soothe me, the way you sleep softly through the night. Every morning you rise and open your eyes. I just wanna be there with you, babe. I just wanna be yours from this day forward. You talk, the way you say my name, your smile, the way you move me, the way you soothe me, the way you sleep softly through the night. Every morning you rise and open your eyes. I just wanna be there with you, babe. I just wanna be yours from this day forward.
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. Hey, what's up? It's your man Lloyd Spence, and I'm so excited because it's been a great football season already. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends at betonline.ag. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events like Major League Baseball, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your rewards. Why? Because it's BetOnline, and that's where the game starts. And tell them the Noisemaker sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World.
Now, yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of a can. You can make it round the world when the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. That's that popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. The popcorn world.
Breaking down the rumors and smelling out. Speaking for the people who must go around. Taking truth to power with a whisper and a shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Hey yeah, say it again, say we're talking noise. Yeah, talking noise. Really don't have to fool around. Never noise keeps us lined up. No truth divine. The sign that you hear is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up all the time. We're talking noise. Yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise.
Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
Guess it would help if I had some sound. Let me see here. Hey, okay. How you doing there, Albie?
Mama Noise.
See, this is what happens when Mr. Noise is not here. I'm trying to figure out what button has to be pushed. I feel like one of those kids is like the parents aren't home. Okay. Oh my gosh. Welcome, noisemakers. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ Daily Podcast. Oh, Mr. Noise has stepped out for just a quick moment. He'll be back soon. But me and Savage Albie is holding it down. Albie, what's it like up in the VILLE?
It was windy but pleasant.
Okay.
It was a beautiful day. Upper 50s, low 60s. A little breezy.
60s.
Yeah, it's kind of fallish, right where it's supposed to be. Right where it's supposed to be. What's going on in the pine box?
The pine box. Well, I would say it's probably 70, about 70 degrees. So the temperature's great. But we had a storm down here last night, boy. It was raining all hard, and it was seriously, the wind was blowing and rain falling. I was like, what is happening?
Was it raining like a mug?
It was raining like a mug. And so what I did was I told the girls that they need to go outside and pick up all the tree branches and stuff that have fell out in the yard. That would be a great opportunity for them to get some sunshine and, be of service. So they went out and got all the branches and stuff that done fell down, and so we did that, and the temperature is pretty good. So yeah, sun is out today, unlike yesterday.
Did you say branches?
Huh?
Hang on, smoke detector's going on. Un momento, por favor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the branches, the tree, Grandma Noise's house is surrounded by pecan trees. And so they was getting a workout last night with the storm. So there was a couple of branches kind of spread throughout the lawn. And so I told the girls, be of service. And so they went out and picked up branches and stuff and swept some leaves and stuff. And tomorrow, I'm going to get a visit from a noisemaker. Noisemaker Tyra Statewright is going to come through. She's down here in the Bluff. And she's going to come by and holler at her Sarah. And I'm excited about her visit.
That's what's up.
I know. I was like, somebody knows we're down here. Somebody. Okay. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. Hey, Catherine. Good to see you there in the chat. Noisemakers on YouTube. Hey there. Good to see y'all. We're looking forward to hanging out with y'all this weekend for the Uncorked Wine. We're gonna have some more fun. We got another game to play. So on Saturday, make sure you holler at us for Uncorked Wine. We're gonna have another game, and we're gonna be drinking some libations and having a great time on Uncorked Wine on Saturday. And then make sure you come through on Friday for Black Friday. We're gonna have some fun on tomorrow as well. So make sure you come through. We got a lot of stuff planned for you guys. And shout out to everybody who came through on last night for the five. They celebrated the 100th episode of the Five. I call it the hottest sports talk show live on Facebook. That's what I call the five. The hottest sports talk show live on Facebook. They were live on last night and celebrating the 100th episode, and on YouTube, man, it was popping. I was like, okay, I'm looking at all the people, I'm checking for the people on Facebook, but YouTube had their own celebration going on last night for the five. Shout out to all those that came through on last night to celebrate the 100th episode of the five. The five on last night. So how was your day, Albie?
Wasn't a bad day at all. This was probably one of the calmest, smoothest days I've had since the start of the school year. So, which was needed because I hung out with some coworkers. We had a former coworker who's en route to South Carolina, stopped in town last night. So a bunch of us got together and hung out with him. And got a little carried away on a Wednesday night, knowing that we all had to get up and go to work. So it was nice to have a pleasant, smooth, uneventful day today.
Okay.
Because I needed to just kick back and relax today. So, but it was a good day.
Well, good. I'm so glad.
Any day that's getting me closer and closer to Thanksgiving is a good day. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Do they sing that for Thanksgiving?
I do. I don't care what.
That's your favorite holiday.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I must say, because I got nothing for October. Unless I acknowledge the Indian portion of my heritage for the Indigenous People Day. Other than that, I got nothing for the month of October. So I would say next on deck is Thanksgiving. But I'm trying not to look that far. I'm trying to take one day at a time, because by then I'm looking forward to being, not to say I'm not enjoying all this nature down here. Matter of fact, I thought Arkansas was known as the natural state or something like that, because we have seen nothing but natural. I've never knew that they had pelicans somewhere. They're like right over there in the lake here in Arkansas. I thought you had to be on a coast somewhere like Florida or California or, somewhere.
I never guessed pelicans were indigenous to Arkansas.
I know. I looked up the history. The history said, according to the conservationists here, they said that what happened is a flock of them came through here. I don't know how they was coming through here from somewhere else. I can't imagine. But at any rate, they came through here and they stumbled upon the lake, and it had like this little bit of land in the middle, like an island, if you will, in the middle of the lake. And they stopped there because there's so many fish there in this lake. And so they made a colony there, and they've been there ever since.
So what do the temperatures get like? What do the winters get like in Arkansas? Now,
that part I don't know, and I pray that I don't find out.
That they were able to
cause
their migration.
Right, and hang out here and not going further south instead of hanging out, but hanging out here. I don't know. That's an excellent question. I'll have to do some more research with that. But apparently it's not that bad for them to go ahead and stay here. And I'm serious. I've never seen so much nature up close since I was like a Girl Scout back in the day. To see egrets.
Why are you out getting pictures and sharing them with the?
You know what? That's an excellent question. That's exactly what we need to do. Because I've seen, the girls have seen what's it called? Egrets. They've seen they see you can't see the colony of the pelicans up close because it's in the center of the lake, but there's so many of them the whole island looks white because that's all that they just chilling.
Wow.
But all these fish and turtles and everything, it is a breath of fresh air. When I stood over there and was like, wow, just looking at the waves of the lake and everything, it was truly refreshing. It was like, if I close my eyes, it's like, am I in, no shade, but it's like, am I in Arkansas? It would make me think I'm somewhere, somewhere in some lake, like, I don't know. It just seems like I'd be somewhere else. I don't know, but it was definitely refreshing. The girls were like, wow. I mean, with so many birds flying around, not the kind of, see, in Texas, no shade on where we from, but in Texas is like the movie Birds could be made in Texas. We stop at a stoplight and there's like 150 birds. And that's not a embellishing. That's not embellishment. About 150 birds are sitting on the power lines at every intersection. You like, don't y'all got somewhere to go? Ain't y'all trying to fly further south? Why are y'all still hanging out here? To the point where the kids will be at the stoplight going, Mama, look at all the birds here. It's
That's
serious.
how it is over Fern Valley around GE. The skies it's like, it gets so dark when they flock around from line to line. It's eerie. It puts you in the mindset of the movie The Birds.
It's true. I've never seen anything like it. And furthermore, in Texas, it's like that year round. It's not temporary where you say, oh, well, when it gets colder, it'll be, first of all, we don't generally get colder, but you're like, oh, okay, there's going to be a season where we won't see them. Yeah, they be there. Like, we still here. We still here. So anyway,
you
that
might
was.
as well turn the temperature back up because we ain't going nowhere.
I mean, listen, it's now. You didn't. Only time, I will take that back. There was only one time we didn't see them, and that was when we had that crazy freeze. That crazy freeze we had. That when the power grid went out, and see that helped me see that they can't sit on those wires where all the power was coming through because wasn't no power, so they wasn't getting warmed up. So they was like, we out. Oh, look, Mr. Noise is back.
Yes, I am. What's going on, people? I'm looking on the other screen because I got to move you over to the right screen. There we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Al B, what's going on, brother?
You're muted.
Oh, am I?
No,
I can hear you.
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, you know what, Al? Really?
What up, my brother?
In the midst of my circumstances and my situation and my conundrum, you want to get me with the music? Oh, good to see everybody, man. We are pressing forward, as they say. Life happened prior to the show, so we're dealing with life right now. But it's life. Oh yeah, life is happening. So when life happens, you deal with it. That's what it is. But it's good to see everybody. Noisemakers, 2 fingers. That means peace. If I give you the 1 finger, that's not good. Mama Noise, what were you talking about? It sounded like you were talking about birds and stuff. Well,
I was telling him that, Al B was talking about the lovely temperature of 60 degrees.
Oh, in Louisville? That's nice.
It was.
Yeah, it's 73 here. So we had a pretty good day as well. And man, not a cloud in the sky. That's what made it really nice. There's not a cloud in the sky, just beautiful. sometimes fall delivers some pretty nice days. So today is one of those days.
Yeah, by the end of the weekend, first of next week, we're gonna have highs in the upper 40s, low 50s.
Highs in the upper 40s and 50s.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant at all. But it's all good. We do have, I guess, some church announcements, don't we? Do we have some church announcements? Yes, we have church announcements. We have.
Actually, I was telling the noisemakers about Saturday for
I think you are genuinely starting to get excited about Saturday. I think you are Mama Noise is genuinely starting to get excited about Saturday, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We oftentimes we'll do a this or that or verses on this show, and it's strictly a black thing, just strictly black, keeping it all the way black. But this time we decided to bring in a comparison point. So now it's a black or white thing, and it's very, very, very interesting. I really think it's going to be a lot harder than we all think, because Mama Noise and I were struggling in the conversation setting it up. So I know if we're struggling in the conversation to set it up, the actual conversation is going to be really, really good. Some of y'all going to be really mad at us, but it's going to be all good. I promise you. We're going to have a fun time to laugh and have, like we normally do, have a laughing good time or whatever. If you missed it yesterday, you missed it. Great episode, 100th episode. Shout out to Al B for pulling up on the 100th episode. That was really, really cool. And then we had a really cool morning this morning with Uncle Charlie Ward, who celebrated his birthday today. We showed him some serious love, and so that was cool. So, and then of course we got Black Friday. So we'll get into Black Friday on some of the stories that are going on, floating around. Before we get into any of the stories that we got for today, Al B, you saw the verdict, right? Today. You saw the verdict, right? For today, right? For the Parkland shooter? Oh, man. 17 counts, all guilty, but the jury recommended no death penalty, which was quite interesting, because you could see the disappointment on the prosecution and the victims' families' faces. They looked, they were very happy with the verdict, obviously, but they were not happy with
So he was found guilty of 17 counts of murder.
17 counts of murder, first degree murder and burglary and some other stuff. It was very, it was a lot of legalese, but
they recommended no death sentence.
They recommended no death penalty, and so the prosecution in Florida. The victims have a right to be heard, their case to be heard by the judge. And so on November 1st, that's what's going to happen. The victims are going to have an opportunity to speak on their loved one's behalf in front of the judge. And then on November 1st, they're gonna get a chance to, I guess the judge will make a sentencing recommendation on that day. That's gonna be a long day, I'm sure. They may get done that day, they may not. I don't know, but that is the goal, I'm sure, on November 1st to get.
You know what's ironic about that?
What's that?
I see nothing in my Google prompt saying anything about Parkland
at all.
Nope.
Oh wow! And normally you get those updates, right?
Well,
it all depends.
Oh, okay.
What if they don't want to put in the front burner? They
got you. Well, yeah,
on it and slide it to the back, let it simmer.
Well, it is going down. So I mean, they like I said, they were thrilled, I think, about the actual verdict, and I don't think that the actual verdict was ever in question. I think it was pretty dry on that part, but there was definite question in regards to what was going to happen with the rest of it. And man, I don't know. I we've talked a lot about the consequences of an action on this show, especially this week, as a matter of fact. And I just wonder, 17 people, man. I don't want to play God. That ain't my goal or my drive. But 17 people, I don't know, man. It just feels like something should happen. I don't know. Mama Noise, you got that look on your face.
Yeah, I got the look on my face because I thought that was a bunch of BS.
Can we listen to some of the jurors answering questions?
Do you have that, or do I need to pull that up?
Hang on, un momento, por favor. There's an actual video, but I just have audio.
Okay, we'll listen to the audio.
Courtesy of Channel 10 WPLG. I don't know where.
Probably in Florida. Okay.
I was overwhelmed.
He's ready to play the video.
Oh, I thought he said uno momento.
That gun, the gun at the center of all of this, as well as the jury.
Can y'all hear it?
Yes.
Publicly and identified himself. Juror number 3 is a probation officer and once worked as a paralegal executive assistant. He told me he was once in the military.
I voted for the death penalty. We did go back there and try and hash things out. And there was one juror that was just very set in what she believed, and that was the life.
He also told me he was the one who requested to have the shooter's rifle brought to the jury room.
I was in the military. I am very well versed in an M4 and a rifle. So I wanted to help elaborate the features that the defendant put on the weapon. For instance, the sling, for instance, the bipod, and as well as the foregrip.
What did those things tell you?
It told me that you have to sit down, and while you're implementing those onto the weapon, you have to be thinking about something, whether that is bad or good. And so I wanted to show the jury that it is not extremely difficult to put those on, but it is something that you need a mental capacity to put those on.
Juror number 8 is a gun owner who works in human resources.
Black female.
And once worked as an X-ray tech.
Anxious, nervous.
Are you happy that it's over?
Very happy that it's over.
The jury foreman was juror number 1, Benjamin Thomas, a gun owner who works
White
in
man.
IT. His brother is in law enforcement, and his mother is a mental health counselor.
I didn't vote that way, so I'm not happy with how it worked out. But everybody has the right to decide for themselves. It is a moral decision on their own.
And you heard their vote.
So I'm a bit confused. The first juror they interviewed, juror number 8, he said he was in favor of death.
Right.
Juror number 1, who was the foreperson, the last gentleman, he said he didn't vote the way the rest of them did. So that would indicate that he was for
death penalty. Right.
So how did they come back with a recommendation of no death sentence if?
Well, because the bottom line is, if I understand it correctly, and you guys feel free to research it a little bit if you need to, as I understand it, there has to be a majority vote. And so while there are 2 that said I wanted death penalty, if the majority said they did not, then that's just how it is.
Now,
but again,
not coming to a majority on the sentencing would not affect the verdict of guilty, would it?
No. Those are 2 separate things. And by the way, the death penalty sentencing is only a recommendation, no matter what. So if they even if they recommended death penalty, the judge can
absolutely do whatever he wants.
100%. So she could have said, "Well, thank y'all for y'all recommendation. However, in the good state of Florida, his ass is gonna fry." She could absolutely say that. So, by the way, she's young. She looks very, very young. Would you agree with that, Kieta? She don't even like she bust 40.
No.
And what were you about to say before the video, Kenyatta? And don't give me no Jay Joyner nonsense that you forgot.
Right, I agree.
I was simply gonna say I thought it was BS. I was so full of emotion at the reading of each name of each student. I still feel emotional now at the thought. And you're saying that you get a chance to still live your life, but he's behind bars. I don't care. I don't care. He got an opportunity. He got rights. You didn't give those people rights. You took their rights and took your shiny new gun. You felt all empowered to go and shoot people that, I mean, I was listening to each count and I'm going, it's like, okay, he's sitting there in the comforts. He wasn't in no orange jumpsuit. He was dressed for court. I mean, I'm sitting there going, where did he get his inconveniences? He gets to be behind bars. That's the inconvenience. He's behind bars for life. That's it. Why ain't he getting death by firing range?
Firing range. They don't do that no more, Mama. No.
I'm just saying that's what he did to the people.
I hear you.
You took the lives of those children. You took it because you mad. And the thing that really got a bee in my bonnet was the fact that they was like, well, his mama was on drugs when she was pregnant with him, and she did drunk alcohol and stuff. I want to say, so what? So what? In the Black community, we got plenty of kids who's got crack mamas, alcoholics, mamas, that been on drugs and stuff like that. Their kids may not be on the best side of growing up in the best neighborhoods and stuff, but they ain't got no guns going around killing up a whole bunch of school students because they mad at other folks. There are people that survived that. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that as an excuse. If he had been black, they'd have been like, lethal injection. But whatever's name, Cruz or whatever's last name, I don't even remember.
Well, okay, so I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying at all. November 1st, we'll see. That's what I'm saying. Because maybe the judge will agree with you. I'm hoping the judge will agree with you. Al, what are your thoughts on what Mama Noise is saying?
I totally agree, but there's a part of me that would like to think that life in prison without the possibility of parole would have him suffer more.
Yeah, I don't disagree with life in prison without the possibility of parole. I just struggle with the fact that you're able to kill 17 people and live. That's I struggle with that. I struggle with that. I'm just saying that
the jury took in consideration, according to this Reuters article, they took in consideration heavily the mitigating factors such as the disorders described by witnesses as stemming from his biological mother's substance abuse during her pregnancy. They felt it outweighed aggravating factors.
My problem with that, and by they mean the people that voted against the death penalty. So I want to be clear about that part as well, because clearly those other two guys was like, yeah, but because I agree with the one guy when he said, this is how you use this particular gun, and this is how this particular gun functions. So none of those emotional and psychological factors influenced the way he was able to use that gun. So none of those emotional and psychological factors influence the planning and preparation that was killing these 17 people. So my problem with what they're saying is, while he may have had a hard life, and that's not to take anything away from that aspect of his life, it does also not to me, and that's why I don't get to be on a lot of juries. It does not to me say it justifies what he did.
Right.
You can
They're not
have
saying. See, they've gone a step further, and they're not just saying he had a hard life, rough upbringing. They're saying he had disorders as a result of this drug use. I just
how do you
read
know
a little
that?
further in this article, and that juror foreperson said that there was a excuse me, there was a hard no. There was no way that this one juror, female, was going to switch her vote to yes, and ultimately it persuaded two other jurors to vote no. So they had 3 no's, but Florida law requires a unanimous.
Oh, it's got to be unanimous. Okay,
I thought
it was
unanimous to
wow.
Present a recommended death sentence to the judge.
Well, I guess the defense got what they wanted. I mean, that's the American legal system. The defense vetted these jurors, and whichever one that was that had the hard no, that defense.
They probably latched on to her early on in the trial.
Exactly, and they got what they wanted. So I can't be mad at them doing their job. No. Listen, Mama Noise. I understand what you're saying. I understand your frustration, and your frustration is justified. That we would have liked to have seen a particular eye for an eye kind of situation. I get it. I understand what you're saying.
You said disorders, so the disorders is the part that kept them from going
ahead.
No.
That's what Al just cleared that up. Al just said that they took in account the disorders, but also the one juror was very adamant about I'm pro-life. Or not pro-life.
I heard the guy say
I'm anti-death penalty. So that's why he didn't get it. Yeah. So S. Dot said, when are we going to start comparing everything by race? I think if we continue to put so much emotion into it, we don't move our people forward. We stay stuck in victim mentality. Well, Mama Noise said if he was black, he would have gotten the death penalty.
And Tony Bruce was in the chat.
You just want to make sure somebody co-sign with you.
I'm just saying, and what I ain't exactly the lone wolf.
Right.
Yeah, I missed that.
I do feel. I mean, listen, come on.
Mama Noise. I don't, but I'm gonna be honest with you, and I hope you take this in the vein that I'm gonna say it. This wasn't a black crime.
So wasn't no need to even.
No, I need you to hear what I'm saying. This wasn't a black crime. This wasn't a white man going into a school just killing up black kids. This was a white guy going into a school killing 17 people.
I don't even know if he was white. I mean, wasn't his name?
Yeah, I'm not even sure he's white.
No, right, he's Hispanic.
Right. So that's my point. You're trying to say the justice system would have favored a white guy. Well, this ain't a white guy. So the justice system did what it does. Listen, the defense's job is to defend him. If he says I'm quote unquote innocent, if he claims innocence, whether we believe he's innocent or not, if he claims innocence, that's their job, is to try to defend him. They may think he's a scumbag, but their job is to defend him, and they did that. Now they lost the case in the sense of he is going to prison for life with no ability for parole.
Well, he pled guilty. So ultimately, they have victory because I'm sure that because of his guilty plea, their only job was to save his life.
Right.
Wow. We got people fighting to save this man's life, and yet he took other people's lives.
But that's what our legal system.
It sucks.
That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation.
I'm just saying. All of these mass murder shooters, get to live to tell about it or decide not to tell about it and have somebody fighting to save their little raggedy life, but yet they want to take other people's lives from them.
Listen, whether or not a person gets to live or should have the opportunity to live, if you are found guilty of a mass murder, is a whole different conversation and a whole separate conversation of legislation. Because I don't disagree with that part. To me, the way to curb these mass murders is to have a law in place that says if you are found guilty of mass murder, and mass murder meaning multiple murders, more than one, then you don't get the option.
I'm just
that's where I stand with it.
That.
Well, maybe that's something we got to get.
It needs to be fixed because it's becoming common. You got folks that they get the sachet into jail. Now advocate for me that I don't get the chair, but advocate that I get life. At least that. I'll even go ahead and admit that I did it. How brazen, how bold. You can just, I'm guilty, but now make sure I don't get the check. These people didn't get that opportunity.
But now, Mama Noise, I need you to hear this, though. This law that you're asking for works all the way across the board. So you need to know that when you say it. It works all the way across the board.
I need you to clarify. What are you talking about?
You're saying you want a law where if you commit a mass murder, you instantly you end up dead. Okay. If you want to get, hold on. With the faces, well, hold on. I'm like Jay now. Just calm down.
You can't control my faces, so you just go ahead and say what it is.
I'm not trying to control your face. I'm trying to tell your face to hold up before I can.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
You don't even have a scarf on and you hostile. You know what? Matter of fact, let me. No. I got it, bro. I got it. I know what's going on right here tonight, and I'm gonna deal with our
TV. I'm a savage. Oh!
You get the full button. You can just raw down tonight.
Woo!
Woo! The point that I'm making is that law that you would like to enact is a law that would affect all of us, black, white, Hispanic. It does not matter. So if you're not, so now you have to, in order for that law, or you have to wrap your mind around the comfortability of what you're saying, because you're basically saying that the black man that is convicted of killing, two people or whatever under any circumstance, because we said multiple murders. So if multiple is more than one, so if whatever multiple murderers goes down and kills somebody, he gets the death penalty.
Okay. It's supposed to be equal anyway. The law, isn't it supposed to be equal?
No, it is. That's right. That's exactly right. And Miss Gray, welcome to the show. I don't know what logic they applied. As far as we know, it sounds like, according to what Al just read for us, it sounds like there was a juror that is just not for death penalty. And that juror was able to influence other jurors. And they were not, and the jurors that were for death penalty were not able to influence that juror. And so because of that, this is where we are.
In the article that I read, she simply stated, or she didn't say anything, but the jury foreperson said that her reasoning was his disorders outweighed the mitigating factors that one would consider for the death penalty. So because of that, because she felt the disorders had more weight than the mitigating factors, she could not choose the death penalty for Mr. Cruz.
So basically, she's saying I have compassion for what he has been through and who he has
She's
become.
not saying she's not against the death penalty.
Right.
She's saying that she thought his disorders outweighed the mitigating factors, so she could not.
And by the way, they have a discussion in a jury trial. So that also means that no one on the jury was able to speak to her and convince her of otherwise. Now, my only question to her would have been, where were those disorders when he was pulling the trigger?
And his ability to purchase it.
Just like juror number 8. He said he requested that the gun be brought so that he could explain to the other jurors. He had to put thought into this when he was adding all these additions to that M4.
Right.
So
that tells me he's highly intelligent.
Well, maybe not highly intelligent, but
the average individual does not know how to operate a gun like that.
Yeah, but things can be learned. But what I'm saying is the intelligence part. Well, clearly, listen, I'm not gonna call that dude intelligent because he killed 17 people. There's no intelligence in killing people.
Well,
so what I'm saying is he's capable. The word I think you're looking for is capable. He's not incapable of pulling this off. He was very cognitive and capable of pulling this off. I think that's what you're alluding to. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction to call him intelligent, but I get it. I get. Listen, I can't fault the defense for having a winning strategy. They got what they sought for. I hate it. I do hate it. I hate it for that family. It was tough looking into the faces of those victims' families and watching them have to listen to that no at the end of all 7. And by the way, torturous moment in the court because the judge has to read out the full weight of the results of all 17. They're all individually based counts. So they had to read out the entire page of all 17 counts. And under each one, there was a breakdown of 10 different things, Al. And the last one every single time was the death penalty statement, and that was a no. And they had to hear that 17 times. That's tough, man. That's tough. So, it sucks, but that's what happened. That's what happened. So
wow, that boggles the mind.
Well, listen. As bad as that was today, let us not forget that Brittany Griner is nowhere near close to coming home today. So when you start thinking, hey, man, our justice system is bad, it can be worse. She has killed no one. She has harmed no one. And she is in a jail cell for the foreseeable future because of a choice she made. So it can get worse. And I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying I believe our system has flaws. But sometimes when you compare it to others, you go, ooh, as bad as it is, man, it could be worse. So I get it, Mama Noy. I get your frustration. I do. And I understand. I'm very sympathetic to it because that's tough, man.
It just eats my lunch that this man gets to live. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could go out and shoot a whole bunch of people and live.
Yes, you did.
Even though you go to jail.
Mama Noy, you did the
first one.
Right.
I just can't grasp it. I thought
Mama Noy, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people and he died in jail.
Charles Manson
killed him in jail.
Charles Manson died in jail.
Yeah,
right. That's how it's always been.
I'm saying, like, what's been happening is you thinking, okay, they're shot by law enforcement trying to stop them, or they harm themselves. These folks have been like, you know what? I shot up all these people. Okay. I give up.
Well, Mama Noise, I understand Mama Noise. I'm letting you vent because I know you frustrated. But when you come back down from your vent, you know what this is. So let's not act like this is a new circumstance. This is just the latest circumstance. It is. It really is. I can pull up Al and I can pull up Wikipedia right now and or some legal document or some article right now with a list of guys who have committed mass murders in the last 5 years, in the last 7 years. We ain't got to go historically. Just in the last 5 to 7 years, those guys have committed murders and they are rotting in a prison right now. Some are even eligible for parole at some point.
Well, you kind of, threw Jeffrey Dahmer in there. And no one's talking about the ethnicity of all the people that he has.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. My point wasn't to do that. My point was to show you that this is not a new thing. I'm not trying to bring up the racial component, and because really in this particular case, I don't think there is. I mean, there is no real quote unquote racial component to this, unless this Hispanic dude hated white people. Because I think the majority of his victims were white. So if you want to throw that in there, you can.
I don't know the ethnicity of all the people that were.
Well, I don't know all of the ethnicity of all the people, but I do know all the families that I saw in there that were the victims' families were white. So my assumption, my educated assumption is that most of the victims were white. The majority, if not all of the victims, were white. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to. This may not be one of those race card type of situations. This is just evil, and so we speak to the evil of it all and say, why is this not man being allowed to live as an evil person in the world? That's a fair conversation to me. So, I digress. Mama, and by the way, Mama Noise is not just doing this for the podcast. She's been struggling with this all day. We've been having this conversation off and on all day. So she just, I get it. I understand her frustration. I really do. Anthony Bruce offered a suggestion of mass murderers go to Siberia for life.
There was one Asian.
Okay. I think I did see an Asian lady in the audience.
Peter Wang.
Okay.
Looks like Helena Ramsey may have been multiracial.
Okay.
She looks like she may be a light-skinned young lady.
Okay.
And then there is an Alyssa Al-Hadif, Alhadeff.
That sounds
possibly be Eastern Indian.
Right. Yeah, that sounds Indian Muslim. Yeah.
But all the rest appear to have been based solely on their last name. European descent.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember seeing one black face in the audience. I could be wrong again. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing one black face in that audience. Not one. So, I get it though. Honestly, I get it. It's I get your frustration, Mama Noise. It's rough. Rough situation. Cuz is in the building. Cuz, you good?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
We were just talking about the verdict went down. We were with Parkland today. Well, not the verdict, but the sentencing went down. I said the verdict, but the sentencing. I apologize. I've been saying verdict and it's not.
Yeah,
verdict.
but CNN,
right.
It was an official verdict and sentencing today, or temporary sentencing. Although I don't know what they're calling November 1st.
The sentencing phase.
It's right. It's because it's technically not. He has not been sentenced technically. Technically, the recommendation has been made, and the sentencing is going to come later. So, Mama Noise, while you are frustrated, and I get it, technically the judge could be like, "Damn all that, you will die, sir." So that is still a possibility.
Yeah, I heard them say that she's going to listen to some of the testimonies of the parents and stuff. And I'm just like, I even just saying that just now, that I can't imagine. I guess that's why they gave her so much time, because I can't imagine you have the testimonials, or I don't know if it's a testament, as much as listening to the heart of each parent having had their child taken from them, and you got to make the decision whether the jurors are right.
And that's not to say that all 17 are going to testify. I don't want to even put that out there either. They don't have to say anything.
I mean,
All
not
17
testify.
families-
I mean, she said she wanted to hear
No,
what the parents.
no, but it's testifying. That's what it is. It's testifying. That's
Well,
the court of law is testifying. They're gonna that she wants to hear their thoughts on what the sentencing should be. So that's what it is. So I get it. I don't know. Man, that's a tough day. I can tell you that. If all 17 speak, that's a tough day. I don't know how, as a judge, how you could hear 17 people say he should die and not do that. So I don't know. It's Al and because you may be a lot more familiar with the state laws or the court systems in Florida than I am. And cuz you lived in Florida, right? For a little while anyway.
Yeah, a while. I was down there smoking dope when I was down there. So
Right. Are you sure the statute of limitations has run out on that? Because you just kind of outed yourself.
Damn.
So
Joe Biden just freed us.
Oh, that's right. He just freed you, so you're fine. You're fine. My question to you is Florida a death penalty type state? Like, are they big on death penalty? That you remember?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so Mama Noah, there's a strong possibility the judge will ignore all that the jury came back with. And here's the other part, Al, and cuz Mama Noise. That one juror that was kind of sticking her or his, I don't know if it's her, but that was sticking their shovel in the ground saying, I don't want to move from this. Maybe they just weren't comfortable with the decision at all. And so the excuse that they used was the mental disorder part, outweighed the blah, 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 blah. But inside, they're like, I don't want to decide if this guy should live or die. It could be.
And I have bad news for you, Lloyd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
According to CNN, because the recommendation was not unanimous, the judge cannot impose a death penalty.
So then what is the November 1st hearing about then? Because that's what she said. She said sentencing is going to go on November 1st. And she said, I'll make a decision on that day, but I'm willing to listen and hear what the parents have to say.
It says, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Broward Circuit Judge Elizabeth Schur still is expected to issue the gunman's formal sentence on November the 1st. Under Florida law, however, she cannot depart from the jury's recommendation of life.
Wow.
Which would explain why the families were so upset, because they now know and they now have to live with the fact that he cannot receive a death penalty. Well,
listen, if I can borrow a phrase from Cuz Noise, shit hell. Wow, that's tough, man. That's tough. Wow. Mama knows I got nothing for you on that one.
So help me understand. You ladies. Oh, excuse me.
Lady.
You ladies, excuse me.
Yeah.
And gentlemen.
Man.
Are we upset because the guy didn't get the death penalty? We feel like an injustice has been done?
Yes. Yes. And none more upset than Mama Noise.
Why?
You muted, Mama Noise. You muted.
He took the lives of all those high school children, and he gets to chill out in a prison for the rest of his life. He gets to live. He didn't give them that opportunity when he pulled that fire alarm.
So
He got his little.
Mama knows.
What?
I got your speech. I already heard you've been hyped. You ain't got to continue that now. Let's just carry on conversation. Oh,
You don't think I'm having a conversation?
no, because you just about there. You getting ready to go on off. Listen, question, Mama knows, seriously. Would 5 have been worth life? Would that still have been the death penalty?
5.
5.
I don't see why not.
Still the death penalty?
That's right.
Okay, so 1.
Yep.
Death penalty.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually the Mama Noise is definitely pro death penalty. She's
you
saying
taking folks' life, then
hold on, Mama Noise, slow down now. We got your point. We trying to shit here. So whenever someone takes someone else's life, if we know positively that the person did it, none of this eyewitness stuff, and don't nobody even know who the witness is or the motive behind the witness. But for sure, this SOB shot and killed this person. Always should be the death penalty, Mama Noise.
Is this on?
It's on, Mama Noise. We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't think that there should be any exception? I'm asking, Mama Noise. I'm talking to you now.
I'm trying to find a way to talk to you.
See. There should never be an exception for mental illness that someone experienced as a child. That's proven. That's a proven. I don't mean just come out of the woodworks with mental, you know what I mean, but a proven pattern of neglect, abuse, and mental illness from that. There shouldn't be any exception for that.
You say no. She says no. I'm going to say if that mental abuse is coupled with acts of violence, historical recorded acts of violence as well. I don't know, because I struggle with that. Because there's a failure involved with that reality.
If your mama was a crackhead while you was in the belly, a drug addict, and documented now that your development was slowed, whatever it is, whatever that means. You understand what I'm saying? There should never be an exception for that. Now, let's be clear. We're not talking about the person should get off. We're talking about the person should spend the rest of their life in prison versus killing.
Go ahead, Mama Noise. Say what you see. Say what you.
I just feel like if that's the case, we can look at every individual and say, because you do this, it's a diagnosis for blah, 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 blah. You know, that's a dysfunction. Did you know that was a disorder? We could really do that if you just look at every person under a magnifying glass.
I tried to address that before you attacked us so aggressively.
What?
I said document it prior to, not you come out the woodworks with it. Listen, Mama Noise, I believe in the death penalty. I honestly do. Let Mama Noise listen. That is an extremely flawed system. Now, I understand in this case that this Wahite did what he did. But
he's not a Wahite, I don't think.
The death penalty in and of itself is a very flawed system. Because you kill people that are sometimes innocent. We have people that are in prison right now for life that are proven to be innocent. So is it okay to kill somebody that's innocent just because we're trying to prove a point that crime won't be tolerated?
I don't understand what you just said. I
Is
don't
it
know why
okay,
that was lost on me.
to put someone to death
Okay.
that's innocent? But we can overlook that because we're being so tough on crime that we're trying to send a signal. If crime is committed, if murder is committed, we're going to kill your ass. Even if we have to kill some innocent people.
But I don't think that's what she's saying. I don't think you're saying that, Mama.
That's what the death penalty is.
But hold on. I don't think that's what you're saying, Mama Noise. Are you correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you were saying if a person is truly guilty of a multiple murder. Well, you said any murder, really, but I said multiple murder. Then that person should receive the death penalty. That's what I heard you say. I don't think she said that a person is innocent, but yet they should still die.
No, I don't think that people that are innocent should die.
Right.
But I'm sitting there saying this man killed 17 people. He's alive. He's breathing. He had a sweater on in the courtroom. He ain't in handcuffs. He wasn't in an orange jumpsuit. I'm sitting there going, this dude is like on the runway to sit in there. Long as I ain't getting the chair, long as I ain't getting the engine. Man, I don't understand how. And then it's like, oh, then we just want to hear the parents and see what the parents got to say. What do you want to know? The parents had already showed you how they feel about it. We want to hear from them, and we ain't changing nothing, but we just want to hear from them. Is this entertainment, or is it the law?
Mama Noise, prior to me coming on, everybody, from what I gathered, said that you was already hyped, right? So why in the hell are you still hyped? I mean, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Listen, if I was
because our kids go to school. Our kids go to school. That's why.
If I was on the jury, I believe in my hearts of heart that I too would have gone along with the majority and said death. I believe that. I don't know because I didn't sit there and listen to the evidence, but I believe I would have said that because I too hate, despise crime. My point is only this: the death penalty is a very flawed system, and it's also a very final system. Ain't no coming back. That's it. So either we enact it evenly or we don't enact it at all. And then
but I think she said prior to you coming on, and I think we all agreed that's, or we didn't agree, but we did say, or maybe we did agree. I don't know. It was a lot going on, but we did say prior to you coming on that reality is the reality. Because that was the point I made to Mama Noy. If we go that route, as in one death penalty for all, that covers all. The key word in that statement is all. That means black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, whatever you are. If you do this thing, you get this result. Now, will that curve the behavior? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But if that were put out there societally, that murder, the crime or the punishment for multiple murders now is death. No pass and go, no collected $200. If found guilty, you are going to die. We're taking your life. Maybe people would think twice. I don't know.
To answer S. Dot's question, they don't pick me for jury. Because I give them an honest answer.
Could you be the one to pull the plug? Whatever that means. Like, or to push the button. I don't know how that works. Somebody pushes the button, I'm sure. But would you want that job?
I think it's injections now.
Is it all injections now? There's no more electric chair?
I don't think we electric.
That's a great question.
Okay.
Well, they're not gonna let you do the injection.
They're not gonna let me answer be
probably
on the
gonna get
jury either because they're gonna
That's
say
probably
you,
a medical person.
Spence, can you possibly give an honest answer? Absolutely. You just don't want to hear it.
Do we honestly believe that the death penalty is a deterrence to crime?
Oh my gosh.
You think the criminal that's getting ready to commit the murder, that's getting ready to commit the crime, has thought to himself, self? Y'all know what self gonna say.
Self said, huh?
Self will probably say, huh? Yeah.
I wonder if this state that I'm in has the death penalty. I wonder if I get caught, if I'm gonna spend life in prison, or are they gonna put me to death? Put me in the chair. Or, that to me is not a irrational behavior. Does not lend itself to rational thinking. They're not rational at that moment. They're not sitting there trying to figure out, well, I mean, I'm going to get 7 to 10 years. I don't think.
But when that to that same point, they don't know what they're going to get, which is why there is no deterrence in the action. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids do stuff and they don't know what the consequence of the action is. They don't know if their parents are going to say, well, you're going to be on punishment, or you're going to get a whooping, or you're going to get your car keys taken, you can't drive. They don't know. So the action or the offense or whatever it is not coupled with a defined outcome of punishment. So that doesn't deter the action. But let me say this, and I'll ask all of you. If you knew that if your mama said to you or your daddy said to you, listen, if I catch you if you do anything at that school that gets you in trouble, detention, after school suspension or any type of suspension, whatever, you get in any trouble at that school, I'm shipping you off, no questions asked, to overseas, to a boarding school overseas. That might deter your willingness to do stuff, because now you know definitively what the consequences are. Especially if you take your parents seriously. Now you say, okay, man, I can't afford to get in trouble because this is the consequence to that action.
That's only if you are a rational thinker. And even if you are a rational thinker, at that time when you commit whatever heinous act that happens in school or whatever that they're going to ship you off for, at that moment, you didn't give a damn.
Also true. That is also true.
Listen, none of us like getting paddled in school. But I guarantee you, if you got one paddling, you probably got 2.
Nope, I got the one, and that was enough for me.
Well, Mama, no, that's because your ass was soft. I had an old tough ass. I kept going back.
Okay, I don't even.
Toughness of your ass is determined.
I didn't know that was.
I didn't think that was a thing.
My parents had beat my ass so much before that it didn't matter.
That part I do believe.
And see, that's why your tail was off doing.
I absolutely believe that part.
Slipping and sliding because you like, yeah.
I totally believe that part. There's no question about that part.
Most people don't get one paddling in school. Let's just put it like that.
That's true.
They visit the principal or the teacher would take them out there in the hallway. Y'all remember those days, don't you?
Yes.
More than once.
Nope.
In fact, you have, Mama, no, that's you. But you know of some kids that were repeat offenders.
I was a repeat offender.
They were bad kids. I mean, I
wasn't bad. I was talkative.
Yeah, they act out. Right.
That much is certain.
Yeah. And the paddling didn't stop them.
Oh, Mama, no, that's cold-blooded. What you just said.
Come on.
And truthfully, that paddling it wasn't a death penalty, but that dog in this show felt like it sometimes. Some of them principles that they would go back, way back.
Yeah.
To bring that heat down on your ass. But you still went back to class and gave yourself 2 or 3 days. You do it again. You say something stupid again.
I was trying to ignore that part, Sean. I'll be honest with you. The fact that he had strong butt cheeks, I didn't want to know that. That was not information that needed.
Everybody knows strong butt cheeks.
Nope.
You said you had a strong ass. That's what you said.
Rough ass. The high.
Nope.
What's the difference?
Muscles being strong.
Nope.
I ain't talking about me clenching my ass.
Nobody needs to know that.
That.
Can we move on?
I'm just saying.
But to your point though, that also goes back to what I just said. You didn't know what the consequences was. You didn't know if you were going to get for sure a paddling or just detention or whatever. So the not knowing the ultimate level of the offense was not a deterrent to you. So you were like, it don't matter. I'll take whatever you give me. But if you knew that the consequence was more than you personally felt that you could bear, you might be a little bit more inclined to not do the offense. Now, I don't know if that's true. I know it's true for some people.
But not all. There you go.
Not all, but not all.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
The type of person that commit that type of crime doesn't give a damn.
But at the same time, that's okay that they don't. As long as we know that that's on the books, we deter the ones that are on the fence, maybe that might consider it, and then we deal with the ones that are evil.
Do you not, Mama Noise?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Al B, if you still with us, Mr. Noise?
Right there.
He be giving him the business.
He's right there. What are we talking about right there?
I forgot what I was going to say because I was trying to be silly.
And we apologize to everybody because I know you tuned in for the New Black City show, but this kind of took on a life of its own, but it's an important topic. It really is.
It was breaking news.
So maybe we'll move the New Black City to Black Friday tomorrow and get into some of that tomorrow.
Yeah, it was breaking news.
Yeah. Go ahead, cuz. I was trying to give you some time to remember.
I honestly don't remember. I jumped in.
You old as hell. I got to tell you, you are old as hell. I don't understand.
I know I am.
No, you ain't.
Mama Noah, don't say I'm not just because we're the same age.
We are not the same age.
Shit, here we real close.
Same age and real close ain't the same.
Oh, damn.
It's a lot right now. It's a lot on the show today.
I'm just saying.
I'll just say this. I feel horrible for those parents because Al, if you are correct and that there's no changing the sentencing.
Absolutely.
Then I don't know. I'm like Mama Noise. And why are we doing this whole thing on November 1st? What is the purpose of that? Because if you can't change it, then what's the purpose of that? Just so they can be heard?
I'm assuming it's just like any other criminal case, victim impact statements. So,
yeah, but what you're not going to do is re-traumatize me. I'm not going to let you re-traumatize me.
The mind's already made up, but because you have the right to present those statements, I gotta let you. I gotta let you present them.
Yeah, but I'm not going to let you re-traumatize me. If I was a parent of one of those kids that died, you couldn't find me in that courtroom on November 1st. You couldn't find me in the state on November 1st.
I don't know why you say that, Lloyd, because that's not uncommon for victims to give victim impact statements.
I'm saying it for me. I can't say it for them. I'm saying it for me. I don't want to come and put on a show for you. If you're not legitimately going to hear my heart,
but this is your one. This is your one and only opportunity to be heard.
No,
you weren't called. You weren't called as a witness.
Listen,
you had nothing to offer the case throughout the entire trial. So this is your one opportunity to say, this is what you did to my family, Mr. Cruz.
Right.
This is how you impacted us for the rest of our life, Mr. Cruz, as you go embark on your journey of life in prison. We want you to know this is how we feel.
Right.
I don't think that's traumatizing the family. I think that's giving the family an opportunity to vent, an opportunity to in some way, which they never will, but in some way to move on.
But that's the assumption that you make in that, and that's good. It's a good and strong and accurate assumption. But it's also the assumption that by doing that in front of him, that brings a measure of healing. And if I am staunch on I want justice, and only justice is my healing, having a conversation with this fool ain't gonna help me.
But it's
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Right, exactly. It's also an assumption that it does not.
Exactly. That's why I said
I
me.
agree.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't want that. I don't want. It's you lucky I don't jump over this thing.
Dad, you took the thoughts right out of my. I need to tell you about it, and the more I think about it, I jumped over this desk and end up going to tell.
During victim impact statements, you can say that.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
If I had my way, you would be tied to a stake in the great state of Mississippi, who still has firing squad in their statutes, although it's not primary, it's secondary, like most states. But it is available if somebody chooses. So, but as a victim, I'd be like, I would want for you to die a horrible death.
I would want to ask you. I'm gonna ask you, Al, would you want to speak to him and say those things?
Absolutely, I would take advantage of an opportunity to give a victim impact statement.
Okay.
Because I want you to know, you may not be remorseful, but I want you to know how you impacted my family.
I heard something one time that was really interesting to me. I was watching one of my favorite shows. I think it was The West Wing. And he said, to me, a fair punishment for somebody in life in prison is to set them in a room and play what you just said, the victims' birthday parties, victim testimony, their birthday parties, their happy moments, play that on a loop in their cell for the rest of their sentence. I said, now I can get on board with that. Because that's like slow waterboarding. Right. Because I need you to feel the impact of what I'm feeling. And so no more birthdays, no more special days, no more this, no more that. Didn't get a chance to see my child graduate. We'll never see them get married. I need you to feel that. So I'm completely okay with something like that. If that is his life in prison, I'm totally on board with that.
And furthermore, since you said, oh, he had so many mental challenges, then we need to give him some mental challenges.
Yeah, I don't want to make it better for him in prison.
It needs to be torment, but he don't deserve silence. Peace for the rest of his life in jail. Long as he behind bars, that's all that matters. No, hecky no. Y'all need to come up with something else.
I know we're actually noisemakers. We apologize, but we have to end the show early today, so we're ending in about 10 minutes. But I do want to ask this question: is there a process or a path for redemption for someone like this? And should they be afforded that opportunity? I know that's probably not a tough 9-minute question.
It is. It's that's not an easy answer, but I'll say simply this: prison was not created for punishment.
No, that is 1,000% correct.
Prison was designed as a method of reform.
At least that's what we were told.
That's what we were told.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
So if you approach it with that mentality, I say there's no opportunity for this young man truly to be reformed. He should have been put to death.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, because he can get in there and get his college degree.
Because life in prison is not going to reform him. If you thought he had the opportunity for to be reformed, why would you sentence him to life without parole?
Right. Exactly.
That's right. Because
Right.
now you can get your college degree. You can
Now
learn
the
all
great
kinds of
slimy
crap.
state of Florida has the responsibility to house and feed and provide medical care for this 24-year-old young man for the next, say, 40, 50 years.
40, 50 years, yeah.
Benefits that homeless people can't get.
So,
yeah.
Benefits.
It's tough, man. It's tough. That's tough.
You made me think when you said that, Al, about the reform. But because the type of stuff now, I was reading an article the other day. I don't know which state it was. I think it was Mississippi or one of the southern states that was talking about how they hooked up with a college for prisons. The prisons in that area are hooked up to the colleges so that they can reform the prisoners. So when they come out, they have their college degrees, and they can have better life.
But Mama Noise, I don't have a problem with certain prisoners.
Right. I'm not going to
No.
I'm not saying that I do. I do have a problem with it. Okay. I'm simply saying that there, if it's because of Al saying reform, I'm saying the goal is, like you said, is for reformation, right?
That's what we were told.
Yeah. That's what we were told, but we know historically that is not true. It is far.
We were told the same thing about bond and all that. The purpose of bond was not, set an amount that you couldn't attain so that you could remain in prison. That's not what it was designed for.
Right.
But I see what you're saying now. You've clarified it for me.
Yeah. No. It's a tough thing, Mama Noise. And I my heart goes out for
because Jay, when Jay said, I know we get ready to go, but I'm saying Jay was like, why do I feel so bad? Because I think about I give God praise that our children have not had that tragedy. But I'm saying every day they leave school, they go to school, and we pray for them that as safely as they left, they safely return.
Yeah.
And I'm just simply saying, so don't nobody get it twisted. I know I'll be, having my challenges here on the show about different things, because I'm saying, because somebody would say, oh, but you get riled up if they were black children. I don't care what. I've been a special education teacher. I don't care about the ethnicity of the kids. I'm saying they're kids, and they deserve to be able to live their life instead of somebody saying, you know what will be cool? Let me go and shoot up everybody who comes out with it. I was just so floored at saying he pulled the fire alarm. You come out, our kids, each one of us, and we was going to school. Everybody leaves the building for a fire alarm. You come out to your death. Because that was his plan. They got to come out. As soon as they come out, I'm going to open fire. And took these kids' life. And you get to rear back and say, yep, that's all I wanted was life. Yeah. Just not death. And that's what I have the problem with. The lives of children across the board should not have been cut short because of your challenges. Yeah. Go get some help. Go get some counseling.
Well, but we don't that part. We don't know if that was afforded to him or whatever. I don't know. But that doesn't justify what he did. What access he had and all that stuff does not justify what he did. So, Mama Noise, your heartfelt sentiment is taken into account in my humble opinion, and I agree. I can't say I don't. I don't agree. It's hard. It's a hard day today in America for this type of situation, and then you have to ask yourself what goes back to what we talked about on Talk That Tuesday. Do more children have to be subjected to this in order for this thing, for new laws or new rules or I say laws, to be put in place to cover this type of thing? Because that's what ultimately we're saying today. How do we curb this type of behavior? How do we do it? What's the path to doing it? So, unfortunately, guys, we have to bounce again today. This is a good bounce, though, because we have a very important meeting coming up here in just a little bit. And so, with that being said, we love each and every one of you guys. Thank you, Cuz. Thank you, Al, for coming through. We'll get into some more stuff tomorrow and dive all the way in on that as well. And we appreciate you guys. Have a great Thursday. And let's heal together. Let's say a prayer for Parkland tonight and that community who got hit hard today and has been hit from this situation, still trying to heal from it. We'll say a prayer for them. But until then, we'll see y'all tomorrow. God bless. We out.